Hello. How are you? Fine. So, we saw yesterday in the last class. So, the 9 sections of this poem, we have arbitrarily divided into how many? 14 sections. Because each section carries an idea. That's why we have, for our purpose, it's a comparatively long poem, 51 lines. So we have divided it like this. Now today we have got the 10th section, as you can see, 32, 38, waiting for Godot. Waiting for Godot means waiting without any results. That is it. Without a futile waiting. Waiting for Godot is the title of a famous play by Samuel Beckett. You might have come across that. If you have time, you can take it and read. Samuel Beckett. And over there are 2 persons are waiting for someone, but that someone doesn't come. So that is a futile waiting. So in this case also, the farmers, the poor rural people, they are waiting. That traffic sped, that is it. Arrogant people, luxurious cars, traffic, polished. But then what happens? They are waiting with the open prayer, says the poet. Open prayer, they are praying, oh, one of these should stop and at least ask the prices. What is the price of this, or what are you selling? No, sir, nothing happens. Nobody stops. And if they stop, that is 39:43, if they stop, it is just for the sake of their private selfish needs. One or two wants to take a reverse, another person wants, just totally irrelevant question. Can I get a gallon of gas here? Gas means in America it means petrol. Petrol here and so on. Or another person asks which way to go to that place, to reach that place. Nothing to do with these things. So irrelevant questions they ask. Then 44, 46, the voice of the country complains. Means voice of the country means the country, the people. The rural people, they complain that whatever we do, from morning till midnight, even if we work, we are not going to reach or attain in the level of city people. Because for that you need city money. What can a farmer earn? He has to wait, some days he has to wait 365 days of the year to make something. Isn't it? And when they take it to market, the market, they are received, they are not welcomed. They will say, oh, these things. I have my own experience, that's what I am saying. You take our farm produce to the market, then the people there will say, oh, we have it here, already the stock is there. You don't want, I already keep it there and go. So then he says, therefore the poet says, and the farmer also says, that whatever you do in a city, you can never think of living like the city people with village money. Village money has a limit, but city money has no limit. There are 1,001 ways of becoming rich overnight, but not in a village. So that is their complaint. And 47, 48, the agony felt by the poet. The poet is so grief-stricken. He wants to put a stop to this. And the easiest thing that comes to his mind is to kill this people. What? That I don't know why. Frost, I never thought that would be coming up with such a solution. But so, in that case, what I understand is that, or what we must understand is that he was so grief-stricken that he simply cannot, inconsolable, so to say. Think of the plight of these poor people. You cannot console him. Therefore he says, come on, finish them off. Second thoughts, 49, 51, he says, soon sanity dawns on him. Sanity means he became sane. Oh, sorry, in an insane moment I said like that. Because if I administer euthanasia means killing somebody for a relief. So first he thought I will administer euthanasia to these people so that they get relief once and for all. Then second thought he thinks like this, oh, if I do such a thing to them, people will come and they will do the same thing with me. That's the thing. Tit for tat. So, with that. The last line is, and offer to put me gently out of my pain. When I am trying to put them out of their pain by killing them, mercy killing is called. So, they will also do the same with me. With that, it ends. The poem ends. But what we have to see, the poor, the very sad plight of these rural people. He has taken to its extreme. Suddenly he reverses. And these things that, oh no. That won't be a solution. The title of the poem is A Roadside Stand. But it is said that he was at the beginning toying with the idea of giving this title euthanasia to this poem. Mercy killing. And then later, of course, he changed it. The focus was more on a roadside stand. And then the roadside stand is a symbol of suffering. The roadside stand is a symbol of longing, craving, yearning to lead life like that of the city people, with the city money. And the realization that it's impossible. With village money, you cannot live life like the city people with the city money. So the poem is actually, the focus is the highlights. The poet highlights the human desire to lead a life of luxury like that of the city people using city money, and the realization that it's practically impossible to lead a life like that with village money. So they remain in eternal grief without any relief. Okay. Now, difficult words. Longing means great desire. Mother was longing to see her son, long lost son. Lurks, hiding. Behind that bush, there lurks a tiger, hiding. And then squeal is that, it's an onomatopoeic word, meaning the sound when you apply brake on your vehicle. Like that. Something like that. Not exactly that. I am sorry, I couldn't make it. You can imagine. The sound that you hear when somebody applies brake to his vehicle. It is squeal. Alright, so with this we begin. Section by section we will take. And section 10. It's about waiting for Godha, of no use. Sometimes I feel myself, I can hardly bear the thought of so much childish longing in vain. Who is that I is a question. It could be the poet speaking, or it could be the farmer speaking. Sometimes I feel myself, I can hardly bear the thought of so much childish longing in vain. What is this childish longing? Longing to lead a life of luxury with the city money. And for that, he wants that somebody should stop at the roadside, at the roadside stands. That is the longing. The immediate longing is that. The remote longing is collecting money. Childish longing is. Why childish longing? Because children's desires. Sometimes children long for catching the moon. That is impossible. So it is almost like that. My longing is almost like that. Impossible. So 85% I think it is by the farmer. It could also be by the longing of the poet. The sadness that lurks near the open window there. Lurks means hiding behind. Open window there. Open window of the farmer's house. Open window of the roadside stand. Behind that there is sorrow that waits all day in almost open prayer for the squeal of brakes, the sound of a stopping car, of all the thousand selfish cars that pass, just one to inquire what a farmer's prices are. So I have a longing. So that is both ways it could be, farmer as well as the poets. So this is the longing. Thousands of cars are polished traffic. Thousands of cars are passing. Oh my God, at least one person would stop here and ask me, what's the price of that? What's the price of this exercise? Nothing else. That's what I said, it is waiting for Godo. Godo means God. Waiting for an important person. But nothing happens here. Then lines 35, 39 to 43, you have got this. Some one or two will stop. For what? Not for buying anything, but and one did stop, but only to plow up the grass. In using the yard to back and turn around. I am praying, oh God, at least one person should stop. Then one person applied his brake and then stopped. For what, for taking reverse. Plow up the grass. So if he has got probably this person has got, this farmer has got a meadow. And this yard courtyard, this man is using it for turning, means taking reverse. You can imagine naturally what will happen to the grass there. It will be spoiled. So that is what it is, plow up the grass. Using the yard, he came there, he stopped there to use the yard of the farmer. And then spoil it. And another, to ask the way to where it was bound. So another person stopped and said, so if you take this road, where will you reach? Where will you go? What will be our destination? So the road not taken. So there are two roads here. Then he said, if I go that way, where will I reach? If I take this road, where will I reach? That's for asking. That is again selfish and selfish need. And another, to ask, could they sell it a gallon of gas? Check. That is the anticlimax of it. In a vegetable shop, to a vegetable vendor he is asking, is there a gallon of gas? Can I get a gallon of gas? Check. They couldn't, this crossly. Crossly means angrily, crossly. He's cross with me, he said, like that. They couldn't, this crossly. They had none. Didn't you see? The answer is, no, we don't. You want the carrot, you want the tomato, you want the onion, you want the vegetables or fruits? No, we don't. We want a liter of gas, a gallon of gas. Gas means petrol. That's why no, we don't have. Then that polished traffic, that arrogant person turns to his friend and says, see that? Hey, they don't have gas. I already told you, at the introduction level I told you. If you go to a textile shop and ask for meat, what will be the condition? Your shape will be changed. And depends on the person's temperament, nature and the context. So that is the thing. So 10th one we see the prayer. God, somebody should stop. The 11th section says somebody stops. There are 3 people. One for taking a reverse, thus spoiling their yard. And second, he wants to know, if I take this road, where will I reach? He wants to inquire about that. The third one, he wants a gallon of gas. First. And section 12, 44 to 46. The complaint, the grief-stricken, no in country money, the country scale of gain, the requisite lift of spirit has never been found. Lost all hope. If we live in a country and engage ourselves in agriculture, cultivating our land, leading a pious life, very honest life, there's not going to be any lift of spirit. Lift of spirit means you cannot rise to the level of the city people. Impossible. That is, or so the voice of the country seems to complain. Voice of the country, that is, poor people, the rural people, they are always thinking that. They are very sad. Whatever we do, we will be like this. Our children will never be able to live like the children of the city people. We will never be able to do that. We will remain the middle class or lower middle class. We are born in that, live in that and die. Very sad. Complete. And then you have 47, 48, the narrator or the poet directly enters the arena, or you can say the scene. I can't help, the poet says, I can't help owning the great relief of it would be to put these people at one stroke out of their pain. Maybe it's a positive thinking, but they're looking, seeing the plight, the sad situation. They are longing in vain. They are open prayer. The way the insensitive city people deal with them, consider them. The insensitive city people, they use their yard. They stop for asking direction. And they stop for asking totally irrelevant things like gas from a vegetable vendor. They must be suffering. Their deep grief felt for these people makes the poet think that there's no meaning in living like this. It's better to die. Therefore he thinks, I will at one stroke, if you want to do something like that, it is killing, mercy killing, to be soft, or euphemism for that. Euphemism, it's a figure of speech. That is, unpleasant things are presented in a using pleasant words. For example, we say, instead of dying, he died yesterday. Instead of that, you will say, he passed it. Or he has gone to heaven. We don't know whether he has gone to heaven or hell, but still you will say heaven. Because about dead people you should not say anything bad. That is the Latin proverbs is like that. Those dead, you should only speak good things. Understand? Then de mortui nisi bonum dicet. That is the Latin proverb. De mortui, about the dead. Mortui, mortal, mortuary. De means about. About the dead. De mortui nisi bonum. Nothing but good. Bonum. Bona fide. Nothing but good should be said. De mortui nisi bonum dicet. De mortui, M-O-R-T-U-I, nisi, nothing but, bonum, good, dicet, D-I-C-E-T, dicet, dictate, say, dicet, dictate, this word comes from. So then mortui nisi bonum dicet. How did we come to them mortui? That is euthanasia. Euthanasia is a euphemism for killing. And in English we say mercy killing. So he is toying with the idea of mercy killing these people and putting an end to their pain. But soon sanity returns. Sanity dawns on the poet. They say, I wonder how I should like you to come to me and offer to put me gently out of my pain. Euphemism again. Put me gently out of my pain, means kill me. So euthanasia will be met by euthanasia. That is not an end. That is not the way to give relief to them or to me. So leave it there. Then what will you do? Question mark. A big question mark. Understand? So the story continues. Yesterday I told you you can just a story like this. Then the poor farmers, they have their roadside stands. They have got childish longing. They long. They have got dreams and longings like that of a child, and they pray also. There is a hard reality that they are facing. There is great grief that they are suffering, and then they pray that somebody should stop and do something, buy something, some selfish person. What happens is that some people stop, but it is for their personal, their selfishness. One wants to take reverse and thus spoil their garden, or their courtyard. Another person comes and asks for the direction, and the third person comes and asks for gas of no use. And at last, the farmer sees the facts, the hard realities of their life. So that city money and village money, there is no comparison. By working in a country like this, as a countryside, a rural life, leading a rural life, myself or my members of the family, my children, will never be able to lead a life like that of the city people. Because for that you need city money. So they are weeping and crying. There is deep grief. Seeing the deep grief, the poet also he empathizes with them. He becomes one among them. And he cannot suffer their grief. Simply cannot. Nobody can comfort him. Therefore he thinks, I should put an end to this by killing them. Giving, say, mercifully or gently out of their pain. I want to say, I want to give relief to them by removing them gently out of their pain. And then suddenly the reality dawns on him and he thinks that if I do that, there is not a solution. If I do that, some people come and put me also gently out of my pain. And thus the poem ends. The roadside stands, a roadside stand, presents before us the hard realities of the rural people, the simple people. As we have already seen, he is after all a poet of, Frost is a poet of rural life and rural people, sufferings of the rural people, simple life of the rural people, beautiful scenes of rural people, and everything rural about this poet. Everything is rural about this poet. I hope that you have enjoyed my explanation, you have understood it, have used, this is useful to you, and then if this is useful to you, what happens is I get great relief. So I will not opt for euthanasia for myself. So then the question comes, what do you suppose it is not useful and we are not happy with your class. Then I will say, I am very happy with my class. If you are not happy with my class, I can't help. I am not going to do anything like euthanasia. Okay. And that is not the solution also. It's not, death is no solution for anything. So don't contemplate on that. Understand? Nobody should do that. But life is so beautiful. There is a song, the meaning is this: is there anyone in this world, on this beautiful earth, who has lived up to his satisfaction? The song, the content of the song is that everybody, even the person who is breathing his last, if he is asked, do you want to die now? He will say, no, you take me to a hospital, a better hospital, and let me see whether I can get out of this disease. I want to live. That is the basic instinct of life. I don't know why Frost, a poet like Frost, a poet who wrote, I have miles to go before I sleep and miles to go before I sleep, should think like this. I don't agree with him. That's okay, bye. Have a nice day. Enjoy.